Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching The Expanse. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching the series finale of The Expanse. We made it. We're here. This show has been a huge part of my life in the past almost 9, going on 10 months of watching it. On a weekly basis, just getting the joy and the pleasure of this world building and these characters and these actors and these stories and all of you talking to me about that and linking things together for me, or telling me the differences between this and the books, and the conversations and the people that I've gotten to meet along the way are so meaningful to me, and they mean the world to me. You guys mean the world to me, and it's just amazing that you've been on this ride with me and watching me fall in love with these characters, or just really hating some of them so much. But as somebody who is an emotional person who feels things to her core, when I do express like a sadness or happiness or an anger, just know that that's really good writing and that's really good acting on the actor's part, and it just makes it a good show. Because if I don't have any reaction, that means nothing really particularly good is being done. So I have been just blessed with this show being in my life and giving it a chance and falling in love with it every step of the way. And it's been a wild ride, and I thank all of you for being on it with me. I am deeply going to miss this show, but I hope with a lot of the stuff that could be happening on the horizon that it could be coming back to us, and we could be getting these characters back and these stories back, and get to enjoy it for many years to come. Now, on the last episode, it ended with 2 amazing female characters that are just like formidable in their own ways and strong in their own ways and very vulnerable in their own ways. And it's so wonderful to see, women being displayed as not overly emotional, because I don't think we are overly emotional. I think that we can express emotion a lot easier. But that that these women in particular, that they are powerful leaders. They're vulnerable with the people that they trust and that they feel comfortable being vulnerable with, and that they're able to, share those emotions with us. And that also they're allowed to give us badass scenes of shaking hands in the middle of a corridor on Ceres Station, and creating this allyship. I don't really know what it is. I know Drummer was not super happy to be in the position because now she still feels like a dog on the leash of the inners. And Christian, in her treatment of Belters previously, it's not lost on everybody that, she has that in her. But I do believe that, you see Drummer change by giving it a chance, and you see Christian change by offering it. I believe that they're 2 women who they've only gotten better with the decisions that they've made and that they've learned from, and they continue to grow from those things instead of being beaten down by them. And I applaud the writing on this show and the acting, and just the choices that have been made have been absolutely I don't want to even say heartwarming, but I was so excited for that moment. Oh my God, Christian's outfit, and she's stomping through Ceres, so much confidence. And then Drummer not really being in awe of her whatsoever. I absolutely loved that. She's Drummer. She's not impressed. She's not impressed. And if anything, she's like, I know you're here because you need me. So make me an offer I can't refuse. I think Drummer being in charge of the fight against Marco is smart, because they're both Belters, and I think that there's going to be more support behind Drummer and behind the UN and that group. The fact that when Drummer is going to her ship, and the one, I can't even remember her name, but kind of the lead Belter on Ceres, is just still on the leash of the inners. That has to be a rumor that's going around about from a lot of Marco loyalists. And then, there has to be, I would say, exponentially more people that would love for this whole Marco business to stop. Because it's putting them in horrible positions. They're starving. They don't have any water. They're pretty much like just sitting ducks, ripe for the taking. If it wasn't the UN, pirates could have come and done something to Ceres. Mars could have very well been like, well, now it's ours. So, Marco isn't careful and he doesn't care about all of the belt. He cares more about winning and the vanity that's behind that and being this hero of the belt, which I don't think that's how he's really going to be remembered. Especially with a drummer, like calling him a coward. I do think that he is a good tactical leader. Like he's good when it comes to like maybe battles. But I do think that he is a little bit too emotional on certain aspects. There's so many times where he keeps his cool and you can just see like the gears turning and he's just trying to find another way to manipulate the situation. But when it comes to Naomi, the Rossi, James Holden, like he's just like, no, focused, lasered, like I'm going after them. So you do see a little bit of chinks in his armor that way. Now, I would think that it would almost be silly for this episode to end the war, kill Marco, solve all the problems on the belt. All of a sudden, everyone has food and water and everyone's happy and they love the inners and Drummer's this hero and Christian's this hero and everyone on the Rossi lives happily ever after. I feel like that's not going to happen. I do think because there was the suggestion that, that this war, Bobby, I think, said it to Amos, that this war is going to continue with our children's children, and I agree. I think it is. I don't think it's something that's going to stop anytime soon. I do think that there's a lot to figure out, though. There's like with Holden bringing up like the thing about the ring gates and there being like almost like I feel like what I'm getting out of it is a limited amount of mass can go through before it eats a ship. That's a problem because now it's like roulette. Like you're just hopefully it lands on the right ship and you don't get eaten when you go through. The Free Navy having a railgun attached but not attached, belted to the sphere in the middle. I was having a little bit of a hard time understanding that, only because it just seems to me that a railgun would have a mass velocity that would like go beyond what the ring sphere would allow. So wouldn't the ring sphere try to destroy it? I also feel like it would see it as a threat. So I don't know how they were able to accomplish that and for the sphere to allow it. It just seems like, and maybe it's inert. I don't know. Like I have no idea. I'm trying to like figure it out, but I didn't get that it was a railgun until they said it was a railgun. I was like, that's a funky looking ship, not a ship. It's a gun. I feel like this season, not that things are rushed, but I don't feel like the explanations that are normally there or like the little seeds that are being planted and the little clues are quite the same as previous seasons. And definitely this being filmed during COVID, I can tell that it suffered there. Amazon wanting to put money into a different show that didn't do that great. I feel like if they'd put money in this show and had given it a full season, we would have been the better for it. Because I just feel like there was certain amounts of information that were missing. Now, one thing that I'm trying not to forget about after every episode starts, and it's almost like in my mind, I feel like it doesn't matter. And I know it does matter, but I don't think it matters to the story that we are watching every week with our crew and the war with Marco. The Laconia story, I know it's just kind of to give you those certain aspects of the book and then probably to continue on in different seasons if it were to come back. And it makes total sense. Especially the money that I'm sure that they paid for a lot of the CG. It wasn't cheap, but I keep forgetting about it. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this little treat at the beginning of the episode. And I would have liked an entire season on just Laconia, like not even with the people that we know and love and that we see all the time. It would just be really interesting. But to have seen Zan come back and have like proto-molecule eyes, and it was very Katoa-like and, almost like a possession, but like it wasn't Katoa-like in the sense that like I don't think he's weaponized, but I don't think he's Zan anymore. He might still like think and have Zan's memories, but I think he's different now, and I don't think it was good. And as much as I would like the dogs to have fixed Zan. I think it is like a Pet Cemetery situation where he came back not quite right. I don't know how that's going to pan out. And also, the guy that Kara was talking to, um, he gives me the heebie-jeebies. Oh God, what was his name? Duarte. Um, yeah. So that's why, like, I would like to know more about him and Kodazar and like the Laconia Station space thingy. I don't know like what that thing is that's up in the air. The spiral. I keep calling it Laconia Station because I'm like Laconia Station. I don't really know what that is, but I would like to know. No, like I just feel we were robbed of so much information. Um, Especially because I heard that like Anna and Prax were really heavily in this book, and like we got little bits and pieces, which was fantastic, and I was so happy to see them back. But like the whole Prax storyline with coming up with a way to make food like was huge. And then in the last episode, Christian's just like, yeah, a scientist on Ganymede figure out a yeast that like makes food. Monica's like, that's good, right? And I'm like, yeah, be more excited about it, Christian. Like, that's a big deal. People won't starve. Like, that's your main objective is to keep people alive. So I'm really bummed about that, but I do like that we have this concentration with Marco, that there is the concentration with Holden and Naomi's relationship and Naomi and Drummer's relationship, which was absolutely heartbreaking. Naomi having to ask Drummer to do something she knows Drummer doesn't want to do. And Drummer realizing that she doesn't have a choice. And the only person that could have come from was somebody that she just is openly vulnerable and trusts so much. And that's Naomi. That was such a heartbreaking scene, but I was so happy to finally have them like reunited. I mean, like it just seemed like the relationship that they had built in season 3 kind of just like went away all of a sudden. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I love them. I still think that they are just best friends. Everyone's like, no, Drummer absolutely loves Naomi. Like she wants to wife her up. And I'm like, there's different levels of love. like she might love her deeper than any of the wives that she's ever taken on, but I don't think it's like that. Like it's just like her person. And the only reason why I can say that is because I have best friends that like I would kill for. I would help them bury a body. Oh my God, this is going to be on the internet. Oh well. But like that's Naomi and Drummer's relationship. Well, that's how Drummer feels about Naomi. I don't really know how Naomi feels about Drummer. I think she knows that Drummer feels so strongly for her and that that's her person, that like she's very careful with what she says because she doesn't want to hurt her with something. I mean, obviously she's open with her relationship with Holden, and which Drummer's just like, okay. I mean, that's what a best friend does when we're just kind of like unsure about a boyfriend. We're like, that guy, huh? All right, long as you're happy. And that's kind of Drummer's response to Naomi. And I will say that like Holden since the beginning has so drastically changed in my mind and in my heart of what I thought of him as a character. Because before the whole White Knight thing drove me crazy, I was like, no one is this good. No one is innately this good. And then you see his struggles. You see how the things that he does pains him, even though he made the right choice for him in that moment, that he feels guilt or he has our time reconciling that decision when, like, let's say Marco kills more people. Not killing Marco, he could take that on his shoulders, which is incorrect. Him not making Marco a martyr and or the hero of the belt that was killed by James Holden on the Rocinante, where Naomi Nagata was present. Like, he avoided giving Marco this huge name. And while people they might die at the hand of Marco, but I think even if Marco dies, more people die anyways, because there's going to be somebody that takes up that mantle that leads people on and continues in the story of Marco Inaros, now burned into the history books as this amazing hero of the belt. Right now, that story is still being written. So we can just say that he's the madman from the belt that's trying to cause this galactic coup. I'm wondering if Amos and Bobby are gonna roll out of a brothel together, half dressed. Please do. Either one of them half dressed, rolling out of a brothel covered in glitter. I'll take that image. I like it. I really like that pairing. Even if it is not an emotional pairing, if it's just a sexual pairing, if it is just two cool fucking people that occasionally can smash together. I dig it. I dig it. Like, I'm happy for anybody who finds somebody that they can somehow find common ground. And I really think Amos and Bobby find that with each other a little bit. Now with Clarissa, she has actually turned into somebody that is wizened. That she's actually able to give out advice, and it's good advice. And it's because she's learned hard lessons along the way. And I'm really proud of how far she's come and who she's changed into, and her guilt, but also her forgiveness for herself. That could really eat somebody up, and she finally forgave herself. And I think that is huge character growth. Now, where it goes from there, I have no idea. I imagine she sticks, on the Rossi, and is a valuable crew member. I don't know if Naomi will ever really quite forgive her for kicking her ass that day. But I feel like we could resolve that in this episode, and that would be nice. That way it's just not hanging out there. But I am really glad that her and Amos have the friendship that they do, and that, she's influential to him in a positive way, which, had you told me at the beginning of season 4 when they had that conversation and he called her Peaches, and I was like, ugh, I don't like it. And like all of season 5 kind of fighting it, and then finally just like going like, no, she's valuable. I still don't want to call her Peaches though. That's just, I don't know. That seems like an affectionate nickname, and it ain't like that for me. Okay, guys, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to get into this episode. I am going to enjoy every minute, every second, every morsel, clean and sober, drinking my Sprite rather than indulging in the rosé. I want to remember every little bit of it, and I want to be coherent afterwards, and I want to be able to speak about what I've witnessed with a full heart and maybe empty tear ducts. Okay, guys, let's get into it. Okay. Oh my God, I don't want to hit the button. You have to hit the button. Yeah, I don't know what that structure is called. Here we are in the finale. Yeah, I don't trust this guy at all. How are they gonna act when Zan walks in the door?
Where's your brother?
Oh no!
I want a hug too.
Pet Cemetery!
Whatever the hell you are, get out of here!
Stop it! It's Nance! Your brother's gone. No! Daddy? Stop! No!
Oh my God!
No! Daddy!
They're not really the best parents.
There's nothing you can eat out here. You'll die.
I mean, not with these guys around.
If I die, the dogs will fix me.
Oh, girl, that's not an improvement.
Marco will hunker down on Medina Station behind his railguns, dictating the fate of our species for a generation.
Which is why we have a plan B.
Okay.
We've come up with a way to distract those guns and make ourselves a much harder target.
Really?
We'll get to that in a minute.
It's quite ingenious, actually. We'll make a Belter proud.
Thank you.
Oh, that means the world.
And if any Free Navy ships get past the main fleet action and come through the ring behind us, we'll use their own guns to blow them straight to hell.
I like it. Let's just
Is
hope it
this
goes
the
that
best
way.
you could come up with?
Madam, I know the ring space in that station better than anyone. We'll get it done.
You're such a fucking optimist.
That's why we love him.
It's a miracle you've lived this long.
She's not wrong. Oh, that's my Holden, though. It's so funny. That's the thing that annoyed the shit out of me in the beginning, and now it's the thing that I love the most about him. I think eternal pessimists are a little too much. A little too much to handle, too much to take. I'm gonna miss this opening. No special guest appearance by Thomas Jane? Eh. Oh, Breck. You do amazing work. I'm so excited for this.
This battle was inevitable, sooner or later.
I'd have preferred later, after a clean run to Medina and us safely behind those big Laconian guns.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what else?
You expecting something more from Duarte?
Oh, shit.
That thing can really hold all this?
Oh, yeah.
Look at her smile.
Problem?
No. You know, a lot of Martians still consider the Rocinante a stolen ship. They insist on calling it the Tachi.
Must have driven Alex crazy.
He'd tell people that the ship wasn't stolen. It was just
Legitimate.
smart.
It's legitimate salvage. Oh, jeez. What is going on with her?
I'm gonna go restock the fast patch kits.
Clarissa,
This is what I've
can
wanted.
you do me a favor?
Okay to do it now?
Yeah, patch kids can wait.
Thanks, boss.
Well, that was nice of her.
Do you remember the first time you called me boss?
No?
It was halfway through my first run on the camp. You've been there longer. I thought you were fucking with me, putting me in my place.
You were the engineer, I was a mechanic. You were the boss.
Yeah. Clarissa calls you boss now. I think she means it in the same way.
What is going on with her? I mean, obviously it's the mods, but why? Malfunctioning? They weren't meant for longevity. Life expectancy 5 years. Craving salt. Yeah, that's her symptoms.
What do we have here?
Textured mushroom seco de carnier. Our chef's specialty.
Gonna get.
Yeah, sit down.
Of course, you get the real stuff. Don't get your hopes up.
I can always whip up some red kibble in a pinch.
Oh, God, please don't.
Hungry.
I'm hungry. I'm not that hungry. Oh,
Not ready yet.
We're gonna grab what we can and get a spoon.
hang on.
Mom and Dad looking at the kids.
I'm going down to the ring station with the ground assault.
Ship can't go into battle without a mechanic.
Ship's got one.
You know, for someone who says they don't want to be a hero, you sure end up being one a lot.
Indeed.
This is good.
Thank you.
Not too much salt?
Yeah, it's down the pot.
Get them eating like a family together. Normally when there's moments like this, it means that something bad's gonna happen later. So is she going into battle too? That's badass.
We've located the Pella.
Excellent.
I'm on my way.
That whole Duarte thing hanging out there is freaking me out.
UNN Battle Group 1 has located the Pella and will engage.
I mean, Michio and Joseph couldn't go into battle. Joseph wasn't in battle readiness, and Michio probably wouldn't have done well. So it's okay that they're not there. They're safe. They're on Ceres.
If we cannot kill Marco ourselves, get me to take what is his.
True pirates.
Torpedoes are away.
Clinton Shorter with his music, man, gets me jazzed. Who the hell is Porter, and why are you looking at him?
I am nervous, ma'am. For you. We're in a forward position. I'd feel much better if our Secretary General were safely in the rear guard. I'm sure that...
I need to be close enough to maintain real-time communication with the fleet. If certain orders need to be given, I will give them myself.
She's so awesome. I love her.
It was disappointing that more Belters didn't rally to the cause, especially after all you did for them on Ceres.
What we did was too little and too late. A sad story of our species.
I'm glad she recognizes that.
Fire!
Captain, freighter is breaking up.
Shine. Concentrate all fire on the frigate. Direct hit on Pella.
Is it for sure the Pella?
The other ships aren't falling back to protect it.
He's not on it.
I don't think Marco Inaros is on that ship.
It isn't the freight.
Is that the Pella? Oh my god, that is so fucking smart.
Power plates away. Fire!
Oh god.
Airships, counter batteries, fire! Cut cross, broadside to incoming. All guns, free fire!
All right, we got it.
Report.
Drive intact. Reactor failing.
Collect survivors and rejoin the fleet if you can. Leave the Pella to me.
What are you doing?
A collision course? Captain.
We can still catch it.
Reactor will overload.
That will help.
Oi, bossman. Think we think the same? Just beat you to it. Then you watch your screen.
Kill drives 3 and 1.
What just happened to them though? Oh god. She's toast.
I don't...
She needs help.
Well, she was such a cool fucking character. Still not quite sure what happened. It's hard for me to tell which ship is which, and if that was Walker's ship that got hit, I think that was the Pella, and then Walker's ship ran into it. Okay, I figured it all out.